sacrificial dove. I command that this man's soul seek the protection I am offering through the agency of this meal and little pig. You've done well, Elvira. I only hope Miss Sylvia isn't superstitious. If our ogre's trickery is successful, she may go back to New York, and then I'll have the plantation back again.
Picture this. It's 1929. The jazz age is roaring, Harlem is alive with music, and a young woman with striking beauty and undeniable talent steps into the spotlight. Her name? Nina Mae McKinney, dubbed the Black Garbo. She was Hollywood's brightest star, but just as quickly as she rose, she vanished. Was it systemic racism, Hollywood politics, or something darker? Join me as we uncover the tragic mystery of Nina Mae McKinney, a woman who had it all, yet lost everything. But first, hi, my name is Lacey, and thanks so much for clicking on this video. Nina Mae McKinney was born on June 13, 1912, in Lancaster, South Carolina. Her world was one of stark contrast. Poverty intertwined with dreams of stardom. As a child, she dazzled neighbors with her ability to recite entire plays from memory, showing an uncanny knack for drama and performance. Her family may not have been much, but Nina's ambition was boundless. At just 15, she escaped the confines of small-town life, heading to Harlem, where her ambition met opportunity. The Harlem Renaissance was in full swing, and Nina was drawn to its vibrant culture. By 17, her radiant energy landed her a chorus girl role in Broadway's Blackbirds of 1928, a revue that was the talk of the town. But it wasn't just her dancing that turned heads, it was her magnetic presence. In an era dominated by silent film stars, Nina's expressiveness could rival the greats. Enter Hollywood. Nina made history in 1929 when she starred in Hallelujah, one of the first all-black sound films directed by legendary King Vidor. The film was groundbreaking, and so was Nina's performance. She played Chick, a seductive, troubled woman whose energy lit up the screen. The camera loved her, and audiences couldn't look away. Critics hailed her as the Black Garbo, comparing her allure to that of Greta Garbo, Hollywood's reigning queen. At only 17, Nina had become a star. But fame is fickle, and for Nina Mae McKinney, the public's adoration would soon sour into something more sinister. Despite her undeniable talent, the leading roles that Nina deserved never came. Hollywood was entrenched in racism, and Black actors were often relegated to roles as maids, servants, or comic relief. Nina was different. She was glamorous, confident, outspoken. She wouldn't settle for stereotypes. In interviews, she voiced her frustration openly, criticizing the lack of meaningful roles for Black actors. In a 1930 interview, she said, "I am determined to blaze a trail for others to follow." Nina's boldness wasn't just inspiring, it was dangerous. But Hollywood wasn't ready for a trailblazer. Offers dwindled. Some suspected that Nina's outspokenness had made her enemies among Hollywood's powerful executives. Others whispered of an unofficial blacklist, punishment for daring to defy the system. And yet, Nina's talent remained undeniable. On the set of Hallelujah, director King Vidor himself said, "She's the best actress I've ever worked with." Still, even his praise couldn't protect her from Hollywood's rigid barriers. Here's where the story takes a darker turn. Despite her success in Hallelujah and the fanfare surrounding her, Nina's career seemed to stall. She was cast in smaller roles, many uncredited. Her talent was undeniable, but the opportunities became fewer and far between. And then she disappeared. For years, Nina drifted across continents, performing in Europe and Africa, where racism was less overt but opportunities still scarce. Some say she was fleeing Hollywood's cold shoulder. Others speculate she was deliberately blacklisted, her career sabotaged because she refused to conform. By the mid-1930s, Nina was no longer a name in the headlines. Meanwhile, other actresses, white actresses, were climbing the Hollywood ladder. Was Nina erased because she was too talented, too beautiful, or simply because she refused to be quiet? In Europe, Nina found a glimmer of the life she deserved. She became a sensation in London cabarets, and her performances in Paris were nothing short of electric. Fans adored her, and the press called her the Queen of Cabaret. In Paris, she rubbed elbows with literary greats, jazz musicians, and other expatriates who celebrated her as a star. But even abroad, she couldn't escape the shadows of Hollywood's rejection. The world saw her as a star, but the industry refused to let her shine. As World War II loomed, Nina returned to America. She tried to rekindle her career, appearing in a few films and even working for television, but the role was still small and the offers still scarce. It's as though Hollywood made its decision. Nina Mae McKinney would not be allowed to succeed. By the 1950s, Nina's dreams had faded. She lived quietly, taking on occasional roles, but she was a shadow of the star she had once been. Friends recalled her as kind and warm, but there was a sadness in her, the sadness of a dream deferred. In 1967, Nina Mae McKinney passed away at the age of 54. The newspapers barely mentioned her death. A woman once hailed as the Black Garbo had been forgotten by the very industry she had fought to change. But Nina's story doesn't end in obscurity. Today, she's remembered not for her struggles, but for her strength. She paved the way for generations of Black actresses, from Dorothy Dandridge to Viola Davis. Nina Mae McKinney was more than Hollywood could handle. Her beauty, talent, and defiance made her a threat to an industry built on exclusion. And yet, her legacy shines brighter than ever. So the next time you watch a star on the silver screen, remember Nina Mae McKinney, a woman who dared to dream, dared to speak out, and dared to demand her place in the spotlight. If you found this story as captivating as we did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I will continue to uncover more stories from history, stories that reveal the hidden truths of those who lived in the shadows of society's boundaries.